What is going on, everybody? We're here this evening. We got a couple things we can do today. Hopefully everybody's well. I see you guys already talking in the chat. Tyler, what are your thoughts on the new Luxe? We'll talk about that in a minute here. Then Corey gives a couple thoughts on the Luxe, and then he also says, the N4 has been fantastic since I ordered it on release day. Sure fun to shoot and feels great in the hands. You should definitely get one to review. They're really cool. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know when that's going to happen, but possibly. I got to buy one, you know, and then I've got to buy one, which is never really that fun. So yeah, we can talk about pro paintball moves. We're going to do the Patreon giveaway finally, that includes, we'll say, some paintball DNA products. I think I said pro paintball moves already. I don't know. We can briefly talk about the Luxe. I mean, we don't really know all that much about that Luxe, though, so I don't know how much we're going to talk about it, or even if I can provide any type of insight. I'm really hot, too. This thing is fucking hot. My head feels like it's on fire. Finally catching my first paintball ruined my life live stream. Hello, Matt. I just got back into playing rec ball again after a 10-year hiatus. Well, that's all I do. Rec ball's the best. Although I didn't take a whole 10 years off. All right. Yeah, we might as well do this. Let's just talk about the Luxe. I don't know what we're going to talk about, though, with the Luxe, really. I mean, you know, not a lot, you know, really happened. They released this, like, teaser clip that tells us that there's a new gun, and that's about all. It's finally here, though. I mean, at least, you know, we're getting some sort of information. I feel that, like, we've been talking about them coming out with a new gun for a very long time. We kind of thought we'd see it at World Cup last month, about a month ago, and we're going to have to wait maybe a little bit, maybe about a month longer. They have started taking pre-orders on these, which is pretty cool. So if you're a paintball store, or if, like, you know someone at a paintball store or something like that, they've ordered these, maybe ordered them. They've at least had the opportunity to order them for about a week now. I think on the 15th they started taking pre-orders. So I assume we'll see them pretty soon. You know, I would like to think that maybe in the next week or so, they start showing up at stores. Because I don't exactly know when they're supposed to be released. If anybody knows in the chat the exact day or a rough estimation of when these things should actually come out, say so in the chat room. I'll be checking it. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. There's going to be a couple different finishes. They're going to have dust and polish, which is kind of cool. There's going to be dust purple, dust white, dust gray, dust black, as well as polished black. There's going to be a polished red, polished dark blue. And there's also going to be accent kits available. So what Luxe have always kind of done, they're always selling their, like, I don't know, we're just going to click off this since this video just keeps looping. What they've always done, right, they've always had their accent kits for, not always, but for a very long time they've had their accent kits. And those will be available as well. And that's kind of all we know. We know it's $1,800. So like everything, you know, paintball is not immune to the cost increases we're seeing kind of everywhere. You know, we've seen everything increase. I mean, we just saw the 180R come out. That was about $200 more than the previous, you know, 170R. We have the CS3. That was $250 more than the previous CS2. And now we have an $1,800 Luxe. That's $200 more than that TM40. Right now, they're only $1,100, though. So if you really, really like the TM40, it is a very good price. You know, one of the things I'm kind of curious about, balls kind of itch. One of the things I was kind of curious about, though, is I really want to see the thing, you know, because in the email that Luxe DLX sent out to the dealers, it does say meticulously redesigned. Meticulously designed. Meticulously designed. Like, that does not say redesigned. Refined with the most features of any previous model change. we'll kind of see. The Luxes have kind of been growing on me a little bit. I think that they're like one of the only manufacturers that still has, just a regular metal foregrip. Whereas we're seeing with all the other guns, like the CS3, everything really. I mean, there's the Force, I guess. They've kind of all gone to these rubber or like plasticized foregrips. So I really kind of like how it's all aluminum. And I kind of wish that, or kind of hope that they kind of stay with that all metal design and then don't go crazy on like putting rubber everywhere like everyone's doing. I think that kind of standing out is cool. But the Luxe has really been the same gun forever. They released the 1.0. I was talking about this earlier with somebody. I didn't check, but I think it was like 2009-ish or 10, somewhere in there. So for a very long time, they've been kind of the exact same gun. They've looked the same. The ergonomics have been the same. They've literally been the same thing. So I really hope that with this new version, with the Idol, that we actually do see changes. And it's not going to be just look the exact same, but they've like totally redesigned it on the inside. I kind of hope that we, do see changes. That, yeah, that's about all. Having problems. What are you guys talking about in here? $1,800, Bill says, for a nice milled shocker that shoots like an old-ass Angel is a bit out of reach. So if you've shot one, Bill seems to know all about it. I don't think it's going to shoot like an old Angel either. I mean, have you ever, have you shot an Angel? We've got one over there. There's one over there. I mean, it's not like the oldest Angel, but it's pretty old. $1,800 is a bunch of money, though. I mean, especially now when, there's plenty of good options out there for quite a bit less money. I mean, we have the 180R that's $1,100. I'm going to try to look for something really fast. We have the 180R that's $1,100. The DSR Plus is $1,000. And then Shocker just released, their brand new... Whoops, what's going on there? And then Shocker, a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now, just released a brand new Era. So there's a ton of good options under or right around that $1,000-ish price. So we'll see. Who knows? Good evening, old soul. Andre, hello, sir. How goes it? Andre says, Andre here from G1. G1, I just put the beanies somewhere around here. Maybe we'll pull those out and talk about it in a little bit. I just want to say hello. Hello. You're more than welcome to give away a dry fit beanie to a live subscriber. We're going to do that. Maybe not here right now, but definitely want to. I was going to probably do that, I don't know, next time. Not next live stream. Anyway. I'll probably talk about that more in a little bit here. Brad, did you see the leaked crappy pictures of the new Profiler? I did not. No, I didn't. I wish I could say, tell me where to find them, but I don't know. The internet is so combobulated now, I always talk about this. So much stuff happens on Facebook, and so many things appear on Facebook. And I don't really go on Facebook all that much. So I feel that someone said in the Discord. Well, let's open Discord. It's in the Paintball Ruin My Life Discord. Or the V-Force. You know what I hate? Is how you gotta log into Discord all the time. Oh. Yeah, I just never go on Facebook. I feel that most of the time I go on Facebook or really any social media stuff, it's just a bunch of nonsense that I don't care about, and it's a bunch of negative people, and it's just kind of annoying. So I kind of steer clear of all that. And previously, years before in the past, I was at the paintball store every goddamn day. So it was kind of hard to miss stuff. You get customers coming in and talking about stuff. And that's honestly where I found a lot of, information at, was just talking to people at the paintball store. There she is. Oh, that's a... I don't know. I guess we'll save that image, then we'll pull that up really fast. We've also been something we've been talking about for a long time. Maybe not like too long, maybe a handful of months here, but I kind of thought that we would see, there's that picture. I kind of thought that we would see a version of the profiler at World Cup. Look at how they blurred the picture. The person blurred themselves out in that picture. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I kind of just thought we'd see one of these at World Cup. And I don't know, from this picture, who knows? It definitely looks like a profiler just because of those lenses. You know, they have that classic profiler lens. But I don't know. That is definitely like a crappy picture. You can't really tell anything. It looks like a Vio Ascend, though, to me. It looks like the Virtue Vio Ascend mask. It looks like there's a visor on this one, maybe built in. I don't know. I really like the profiler. I've had multiple profilers. I've got one somewhere, an original, like, not an original, but somewhere around here I've got one. I got a funny story to tell about a profiler. Oh, there it is. It's extremely dusty. I really need to dust this area. I don't know. So you can see the profiler, right? See those like horizontal bars that go across the nose? Like there's those right there that kind of intersect those slits right there. So back in the day, they used to not have those. So those like that vertical piece right there used to not be there. And I think maybe the third or fourth time I ever wore a profiler back in like 2004 or whatever it was, I got shot right there and a ball actually went through and hit me in the lip. It was crazy. Just like, I got shot and I was like, what just happened? It didn't hurt that bad because it got slowed down by like something to squeeze through that vent hole. But thankfully they put those bars there and now we don't have to worry about getting shot in the lips. Yeah, but it looks like they've totally redesigned that bottom where it looks like, the version 2 of the grill still kind of looks like a grill. So I guess we'll find out here what it actually looks like in the future. It looks stupid, Bill says again. Sure. There's a side pic, Cade says. Well, if it's not in the Paintball Ruin My Life Discord, what is this? This is, you guys are posting all kinds of pictures in here. I have not been on here today. We're scrolling around in there real fast. Yeah, if you guys want, there's actually a link in the description of this. You can go to the Paintball Ruin My Life Discord. There's people always talking in there. There's a couple different like channels. We got a Patreon, supporters only. There's a video section, a MagFed. There's different sections you can go in there and peep them out if you want to. But we might as well talk about pro roster moves. Will Ball for Soup. Okay, let's go find Will Ball for Soup's Instagram. Okay, that's a little bit better for sure. Don't I have like a Instagram downloader installed? Yeah, I don't like, I used to get a lot of these photos. Not a lot of the photos, but I used to kind of get like information on the photos. Or leaked photos sometimes, and I just don't like to put them on the internet because I don't want to like upset like manufacturers that I may have a relationship with. Yeah, I mean it still looks like a Vio Ascend, right? How the Vio has like those like red marks on the face or whatever. Yeah, it just looks like what they've done too. It looks like that visor though. Does that visor come off? Or it's just probably red. That's probably why it looks like that. Anyway, new profiler maybe. We'll find out. Yeah, I did kind of look around though to see if I could find idle photos though, because every once in a while, like some of these companies will put like pictures online, like on their server and on their website, but like not make them go live for a certain time. And I was like trying to figure out if I could find pictures, but I could not. Pro Paintball, let's just talk about that. We have a lot of Pro Paintball news. Probably, I think, the biggest news is that Thomas Taylor is leaving Infamous. Thomas has played for Infamous for a very long time. Thomas spent 7 years with Infamous, but they've not done so well in a very long time. I mean, Thomas won one tournament with Infamous. Their last tournament they won was in 2016. So quite some time. And he's going over to New York Extreme. I think that's probably very good for this team. I think New York Extreme is one of those up-and-coming teams that's very good. They got Pat Kraft on their roster, who's very good. All these guys are good. Jerry Caro, Josh Taylor's really good. Will Hennessy, Carlos Cortez, who I think is probably still playing with the team. He played World Cup and Chicago with Extreme. But I think Thomas going over there, even if he doesn't play at all, which, I assume he's going to play, but even if he doesn't play, just being around Thomas, I think, and Thomas is very positive and just very positive and a good dude, and provides a lot of experience from, playing on some of the best teams ever. So having Thomas around, I think will be very good for New York Extreme. Thomas yesterday was actually on the Play the Game podcast. I put a link in the description if you guys want to go watch the Play the Game podcast with Tyler Harmon and Marcelo Margot. And he just kind of discussed why he was leaving the team. I don't think that there was really any problem with Infamous. Infamous does practice a lot, so cutting down on how much he has to travel, I think is a big reason that he's going to go over to New York Extreme. And Extreme doesn't practice as much as Infamous, which, I don't know, might be a good and a bad thing. So we had Thomas leave, and then Danny Schoenhauer is also going to be going over, is also leaving a team and going to another one. He's leaving Columbus Level and going to the Dynasty. He's played with Level for a very long time. He played with Level in 2015, and then came back to the team in 2018 when they went semi-pro. He's probably Level's best player. He's an aggressive snakeside player. So honestly, probably Mike Urena leaving and going over to Impact is likely why they picked Schoenhauer up. And I don't know if I would say one of those is better or not. I think Urena probably has a higher upside because he hasn't been pro as long and maybe like playing as much as Danny has been. So we'll see. I mean, Dynasty is always stacked. And we'll see how that plays out. And then Zach Geiger is leaving Revo and go to the Ironmen. The Ironmen are doing a lot of stuff. They're like shaking up their entire roster. Yes, there we go. They're like kind of shaking up their entire roster and probably going to get rid of some older players. We know that Nick Sloviak is no longer with the Ironmen. And then also Tom Guest will be leaving X Factor and joining the Ironmen. Those two things were kind of talked about today. So the Ironmen are kind of rebuilding their whole team. I mean, they've been pretty bad for a few years now. So getting like maybe newer players and maybe stiffening up or bolstering up their roster can at least get them into the middle of the pack. I think they finished 19th last year. So the Ironmen being in 19th place overall is certainly not good. So maybe getting a new center attacker, like a very center aggressive player in Zach Geiger can like help out the Ironmen. Because I think the Ironmen are one of those like historic teams that I really always hope do well. And then Kyle Bowen is leaving NRG and going over to Revo. Kyle, I don't really know much about Kyle. He's a ginger, which is cool. Good facial hair. Looks kind of like a big guy. That's all I got on Kyle. Harris Hussein. Harris Hussein is on another paintball team. Lots of problems with, not problems I wouldn't say with Harris, but he's been moving all over the place. Last year, he played with New York Extreme, a team that he'd been on for a very long time, came up pro with New York Extreme. And then left to Austin Notorious. He played 3 tournaments, or no, wait. He played 2 tournaments last year with Russian Legion, and really didn't play at all with the Russians, so decided to go over to Notorious. Certainly played more. The Prime Tickets logo on the jersey. See that Prime Tickets logo on the very bottom? I thought that was a tooth. I was like, what? Why is there a tooth on their jersey? Yeah. Played 3 tournaments with Notorious. Certainly played more, but I don't think I would say he probably doesn't think that he played as well as he could. I think that Harris is probably could be one of the better players in the league, and at certain times played very, very well with New York Extreme. So hopefully going over the ML Kings, he can shine there and then be a very good player. Like I mean, I really think he can. So watching him play, he plays with a lot of like heart and like desire, and like he really wants to win. So yeah. And then Frank Antomaso from the Brooklyn Bears and San Diego Aftermath. He played with Aftermath for a very long time. Super aggressive player and also a very good player, is going over to Baltimore Revo. And speaking of the Bears, the Brooklyn Bears and NRG have officially merged. Some of this stuff happened a week, 2 weeks ago, so I just didn't talk about it last live stream. The Brooklyn Bears and NRG are merging. Both teams that are NRG's probably a little bit better than the Bears in the past, at least, certainly last year. NRG ended up in 14th place last year, and the Bears in 17th place. We don't really know what their roster is going to be. At least I don't know what their roster is going to be right now. I mean, obviously, Frank Antomaso is leaving, a Geiger left. So we don't really know. And another new pro team, a Blast Camp. So Blast Camp's an interesting situation. So Blast Camp got 2nd overall and 2nd 5 tournaments in a row last year in the semi-pro division. And typically what will happen is that the team that wins overall in that pro division will go, or in the semi-pro division will go and play pro next year. And that's what's happening with Paintball Fit. So PB Fit won that semi-pro division, but Blast Camp were very determined to be in that pro division. So because of that NRG and Bears merger, there was one pro spot available, and then NRG sold their spot to Blast Camp, which should be very interesting. You know, I like to see new teams. I like it when there's new players on new teams. It just makes this coming year a little bit more interesting, right? I mean, if we had the exact same 20 teams with the exact same 20 teams with like the exact same 12-ish to 10 people on every roster, it just wouldn't be as interesting, you know? But this year we have a ton of moves, right? Lots of players moving around. 2 new pro teams, maybe 3 if we count the Bears and NRG merger. And then we have all the brand new bunkers. So, yeah, this year is kind of interesting to me. And then there's been rumor a long time, this whole year, I think, about Todd Adamson, legendary Aftershock player, like literally legend Aftershock player. Chicago Aftershock, one of the certainly better teams in paintball ever. They pretty much dominated the late 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, maybe not dominated, but they were definitely one of those top 3 teams. I've been talking a long time without taking a break. Get a little winded. Legendary Aftershock player has purchased Columbus Level. I don't know what that means for Level, really. I don't know if they're going to like go ham and get like a bunch of players, you know, probably try to sign Justin Rabikoff, who's a free agent now, left AC Diesel, or Nick Sloviak could go over there. He's also a free agent. There could be some more people from the Ironman they could like to pick up, but I don't really know what this means to Level. I don't know if they're going to, you know, go super crazy and pick up a lot of different people. But we'll certainly find out here in a few weeks, I imagine, you know. They'll start probably adding people to their roster. You know, we'll get updates on teams. Just in a couple months, we're going to have NXL Las Vegas. So by that time, they're going to have to, like, you know, do whatever. Old Soul, Todd to change the name to Shock? I don't know. You know, obviously I don't know. But would I do it? I don't know. Probably. You know, I think that one of these things that like a lot of these teams have is like people know Aftershock, right? It's like people know Dynasty. So it's like, you know, having those team names really is a big deal. You know, they have all that like marketing from the past and old fans and stuff like that. So I think that, you know, maybe renaming the team would make sense. We'll certainly find out. But then also, you know, Level also have like a, you know, the last few years-ish of like a fan base too. So who knows? Maybe they just should name it Shock. Did Aftershock ever have like a semi-pro team? I really don't know. Who actually knows? Nick started pro with Aftershock. That sounds about right. A long ass time ago, that's for sure. I wonder how much a pro spot costs, David asks. You know, I don't know. I've actually wondered that too. I don't know, like... I mean, no one's making any money. Division 2, Aftershock had a D2 team. I know they had some feeder teams at one point. I don't know the names of them, though. Maybe one just was called Shock. I don't know. I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, but how much do they cost? I have no idea. You know, it's weird because paintball is one of those things where like no one's making money. You know, none of the owners make money. So technically you're paying for something that's going to lose money. So it's kind of weird. You know, it's where it's like other big pro sports. You buy an MLB or an NBA franchise and you're going to make money no matter what. So it is kind of odd to me to buy a pro spot, but it's really the only way to do it, right? I mean, you got to build a team and, you know, win a bunch of tournaments, and that's the hard way to do it. So purchasing a spot is definitely easier. Tyler says a 40K-ish. There's also Schwartz says 40K. Then Ben Lawton says, I think it's 3K or something. Brad, he said it before, and it wasn't as crazy as I thought it'd be. It's got to be more than 3,000 though. That's just stupid. I just feel like just have it. I mean, you know, for $3,000, that's like. I mean, I'll take $3,000. You know, people want to super chat $3,000. You know, I'll take it. But I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems like a weird number. It's a very odd. It's very odd. And since we're all here. Well, we can talk about a couple things. So people, let's switch over. We're going to switch over to this window. And that's not what I meant to do. You know, I use two browsers and I have to like set my default browser like that right there. Use Firefox. But I always like forget to. So this week, a new video came out.
How do you make a game-changing pack?
Kinetic
Show you how Kinetic
Paintball.
did just that. Why it took 2 years to make their patent-pending modular KMP pack. The KMP,
we're all over the place.
Kinetic modular pack holds 11 pods.
The Kinetic modular pack, the KMP, and you guys, I had to film this video like 2 times, so I kept calling it the KPM. I think I'm just so used to like Kinetic, or no, the Azoden pump guns and stuff. I just keep saying KPM. It's a goddamn nightmare. Oh God. Yeah, so it's this just came out, but if anyone, I just want to tell people, if you guys didn't watch this video, if you guys want to try out one of these packs, or possibly their KPS pants, which we talked about a little bit here in the end, you can use that promo code right there on the screen, PBRML10. And you can get 10% off the Kinetic stuff, which is pretty good. You know, I mean, the packs are $135, so you save like $13. The pants are $160, so it's not a bad little thing. You kind of get, you could save like $20 or something like that. And I really like these. I think that that's what I'm wearing now. I mean, I'm definitely gonna wear the pants, and definitely gonna wear the pack. So, yeah, I like them. I think that the pants are very simple, and they do fit me well. I mean, you can kind of see that they actually fit me right. They're not like super tight on me. The length is really good. You know, those are the HK pants. They're just super high water on me. Large, extra large. I really like them. So if you want to try them out, definitely just go over to Kinetic and use that promo code right there. Torch with that $10 super chat, a $9.99er. Thank you. I totally missed it. You know why I missed it? Because my lights aren't on. Now we are. Ben says, pants remind me of the new Dyson, that's how you pronounce that, right? V4 joggers. Both brands went super minimalist for their product. You know, I don't think I've ever seen those pants in person, actually. Yeah, I like them and don't like them, right? I like the minimalist stuff because it doesn't have any problems, right? They're just pants. Me personally, I kind of like to have a zipper pocket because I always take my phone with me, or I have like some nonsense in my pocket. Like, you know, sometimes I wear a microphone when I play, so I put a microphone on my chest and I gotta have a wire going somewhere. So I like having that zipper pocket just so I can keep some stuff safe. But most people aren't like that, right? Most people aren't taking stuff on the field they need zipper pockets for. And the zippers just break, you know? My HK pants, which are not over there, have zippers on the side, and one of them's totally broken and doesn't work anymore. So I totally get, like, why they don't, too, so... Cordura knee padding. I wouldn't say padding, though. They definitely have Cordura knees. I think I have. Do I have them right over there? Here we go. Slarion 1. Am I saying that right? We'll talk about the pants. NXL and the vendors are the only people making money off paintball. What do you mean by vendors? There's paintball fields make money too, you know. I think about vendors and I think about like the people at the whatever. $20, I super appreciate it. You guys can see your names hopefully perpetually on there until this thing ends. But it's true. I mean, you know, when I owned the paintball store, I didn't make any money. But I was kind of bad at owning the paintball store. And I don't really make any money doing this either. You know, I kind of break even, I feel like. But we're trying, you know. I'm trying to, like, amp it up and do different things. Super chats are the one way that help me break even. Cordura. We can talk about Cordura. Let's talk about Cordura. So here are the Kinetic pants. Cordura, it's a little bit hard to see because they're all black. And Cordura, see, they're definitely not, you know, a knee pad, right? Like, that's the knee in my hand. And Cordura is that material that's like, you know, it's just like really, it's like, I don't know, they make like backpacks out of it, or I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weave or something like that of fabric. It's just really, really strong. You know, I'd say that the worst parts, the failure points on most knee pads are going to be wherever they're seamed at. So like, maybe not right there so much, but because there's not like a lot there, it's just kind of taken out so they fit your leg a little bit better. They had that fabric there, so they're a little bit bigger than normal, so you can fit knee pads. But there's probably the parts they have problems at are on the seams where they have like weird seams overlapping. Like, that's not gonna break. I don't know if there is a spot on here really. I mean, some of these pants have like crazy spots right across the knee. We're just gonna get rid of those. I don't really want to talk about pants right now. Yeah. Strong textile. So we can give some stuff away. It does say giveaway in the title of this, and I guess I'm going to get rid of this. Let's reorganize myself real fast. Can I do that like that? Will that stay there? Just on the edge of the table. So this is a giveaway for Patreon people. So if you are a member, the Patreon, oh, we can get rid of that code there. If you are a gold tiered member for Patreon, one of those gold tiers right there, I think that there are a whole 10 people signed up in that gold tier. One of the perks in this gold tier are monthly product giveaways, and that's what we're going to do right now. And I should say, I want to make this like details about this a little bit more. So the way this is really going to work is I think the third Thursday of the month, all of the active gold tier members will be added into this giveaway. So you got to be active at the time. You can't like cancel it the week before. It just makes it so complicated. It's really kind of tricky to figure out who to put into these raffles. Let's close some of these freaking tabs. Yep, so it's going to be for all active Patreon people. And there are, what we're doing, we're going to give away that Jolo hopper, the 50 round paintball DNA hopper. They're kind of cool. They're like soft and squishy. They have like a magnetic lid. There's that ring right there. Because they are so soft, you don't want to like squish it in there. So it comes with that aluminum spacer to kind of make it so you can clamp it down your hopper. Cool ass blunderbuss barrel. This is a 14-inch barrel tip for di-ultralight barrels. A JT Proflex keychain. These are really neat. They're kind of like just 3D printed, cool little keychains. A thread saver and fill nipple protector. Thread protector, fill nipple cover matching. These are also kind of cool. It's cool that they like go together. And the foldable gun stand. These are really fancy. They fold out like that, goes down like that, and you can like, you know, rest your paintball gun right there. These are really cool. I really like these things. It's just like neat and compact. Yep. So whoever gold tier Patreon people, let's switch over to there. We're switching to there. This barrel's rolling away. We're trying this for the very first time, so bear with me here. Yep, so those are all right there, you guys, in that gold tier. So if anyone wants to, you know, sign up, that gold tier stuff, next time I'm going to give away, I don't know yet. We got some things. It'll either be some kinetic stuff, is either going to be a carbon nano barrel, or possibly some G1 stuff, G1 paintball. We got like their headbands. I got a padded like beanie thing we can give away. They also have their other padded headwear thing. We can give some of those away. So it's probably going to be one of those three. But I'd like to make them at least somewhat valuable. You know, I don't want to be like giveaway and you just get like a sticker pack. So yeah. So we're going to spin this one time, and literally whoever wins, his name stops on that indicator. You're going to win yourself a bunch of paintball DNA stuff. Who do we got? John! It was almost Nate. Sorry, Nate. John, you won yourself, you know, a bunch of paintball DNA stuff. So what I'll do, I'll just email you, John. I'll get your address and I'll send it tomorrow. Well, if you reply tomorrow, I'll send it, you know. The faster you reply, the faster I send it away. So certainly, thank you all you guys who are Patreon tiered people. It's very helpful. And, you know, you can win some stuff too. Jolo Hopper, the new 40 round hopper design, 3D printed. Are they 40 round or 50 round? I really don't know. I've got another one too. I've got a camouflage one. This might not be, you know, super useful to some of you guys if you're not playing Pump, but you can certainly put that thing to use. These things are really kind of fun. Or the gun stand, you know, the gun stand's good for anybody. So, John, I will email you wherever you are. Nate, you almost just won. Hey, y'all. Able to catch today's live stream? Merry Christmas. That's why I got a Christmas hat on. A Santa hat, but it's so hot. I'm trying to like do a cool headbang. I don't know why it says, I gotta figure out why. Nate, it just says Nate Hanneman. It just puts your name in there. I appreciate it so much. Of course. Your guys' support is the only way this goddamn thing happens. David, you said, that gun stand is sweet. Where can I buy one? Right there. Play paintballdna.com. They've actually got a couple of them. This is probably their bigger one. They have like a little teeny one too that folds up really small. Maybe not as stable because it's so small, but it's really kind of cool. They were kind enough to give me that stuff, I don't know, a couple months ago when we did that like blunderbuss barrel or whatever it was called. Something like that. Taking over the 40 round hopper marketplace. There really aren't any good, like, you know, pump hoppers. Well, I mean, there are. I mean, the Jolos are pretty cool, but there's about all. I mean, you know. I really kind of like some of the multi-cal hoppers that were a thing for a while. Like Titman made one, and I don't know, some other people made one. What else we got? We did that. We did the Patreon giveaway. We had the Luxe Idol. Talked about the kinetic stuff. Roster moves. Yeah. I think I ran through everything I wanted to talk about. This time of the year is weird, you know, there's always like a lull in things, like not a lot's happening, and it's mainly like pro roster changes and whatever. It seems like I talked a lot about them. Steven Jackson, not Steven Johnson. My last order from Paintball DNA came with a free mini hopper. 2 to 3 to 4 rounds. Really, it's kind of like a little stick feed, more so. Paintball DNA is on vacation for the holidays. Well, that's good. Shit, I wish I could go on vacation for the holidays. That'd be kind of nice, right? The GOG 100 round. Yeah, they have one of those multi-cal. That's the other company I was looking for. The Titman and the GOG hoppers. They're literally the same thing. They just kind of say Titman or GOG on the side. They might be shaped a little bit different. It depends on like when you bought it, I believe. I don't even know what that is. The Waquitos? I don't know. You're gonna make me try to read Spanish. We're all screwed. You know what we could watch? Let's just put this on. I wanted to try to like, but I can't. The problem, I wanted to try to watch this Dynasty video that BFP Gear put out. But one of the problems is that we can't listen to the audio because it's got all this copywritten music in it, and then YouTube will lose their mind if we play it. But there's some cool stuff in here. This is just a video from World Cup that Black Friday Paintball Gear, or BFP Gear, made. They're one of Dynasty's like main sponsors. You know, I don't know about Skinny's hair there. He kind of looks like he's got like a little Hitler cut, like a Hitler Youth cut on or something like that. I don't know. That's better than my hair, you know. This is just cool. There's a lot of, mostly I would say all gameplay stuff, but at some point in here, they're at the team meeting, and it's just kind of cool to hear them kind of talk. I guess we could listen to this part. Let's see here. Hold on.
Stop, man. I'm getting emotional here. It's the most. I heard this speech 4 years ago. No, shut the fuck up. Come on, man. It really is, to me, from the bottom of my heart, it's the most recent.
Look at Oliver sitting over there looking like he's a card dealer at like a riverboat casino. Listen to the music in the background, it's funny.
Before the tournament, he said if we won, he agreed to name your daughter Dynasty. So, it's a girl, everybody.
Dynastia.
Yeah, girl! Yeah, baby!
Yeah, anyway, we don't have to actually listen to this whole thing. But Dynasty or Paintball fans, there's a link in the description if you want to watch that whole entire thing. It's kind of cool just to see, really kind of an insight into, paintball team dinners and stuff like that. I remember going to a lot of these. They're a lot of fun. Most of the people around you hate you because there's like 20 dudes making a bunch of noise in a restaurant. But they're a lot of fun. Look at Archie sitting there all cool. I don't know. What are you guys talking about in this chat room? Gnarly balding comb over. He just looks like a little Hitler youthy. Ask me questions in the chat, though. We'll switch back over to that. We're not going to watch a video. I always, want to watch videos, but, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of lame. I feel like I'm, piggybacking on top of other people's stuff. And I actually should say, as well, that most of this paintball news... a lot of this paintball news, especially Todd Adamson stuff and this blast camp information, really all came over from Let's Talk Paintball. So if you want to really stay up to date with probably the newest and most interesting paintball news, especially when we're talking about these teams and stuff, Let's Talk Paintball is probably the best way to do that. And there's a link in the description as well if you want to go over there and follow events on Let's Talk Paintball. I just want to do that. I don't want to fully rip off everyone's content. You know what I'm saying? Canadians to the Ironman. Yep. Which Canadians? Edmonton Impact Canadians? I wish paintball videos didn't use so much generic music. Sounds like half the Netflix dating shows when something dramatic happens. It's just stupid music. Yeah, it's just really difficult. I mean, YouTube's gotten a little bit better, and there are some options for people that are actually buying music. Comp Paintball with a $10 even super chat. Oh, I just remembered I saw your email. Well, thank you. I will reply to your email this evening when we're done here. Thank you, sir. My liege. MLG something. Are you going to get a Shocker era and do a field review / shooting? Yeah, for sure. I actually was... if it wasn't Christmas this weekend, I'd be doing that this weekend. But probably maybe next weekend. I mean, it's the holidays that really kind of suck. We got to have me available, and I got to have a person available to film me as well. So we'll try to hopefully set that up next weekend, either the 30th or the 31st. But we got to kind of I got to figure out the game plan. But certainly, there will be a Shocker era. Dude, Wayne's World's the best movie ever. Maybe not the best movie ever, but it's really good. That's party time. Excellent. Party time. I love my goddamn Wayne's World. Shocker era. Yeah, it's going to come out soon. Yep. Yeah, YouTube's done a little bit better job. Now you can get custom music. You can get like actually like different music. I don't know. I pay for all mine. It kind of sucks. All you need is a GoPro and a phone stand. For what? Yeah, to make a video. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of true. But why do you need a phone stand if you're going to use a GoPro? You know, I'd rather use my phone. I mean, I think my iPhone's probably better quality than the GoPro. Is it though? We could use this camera. Ooh, look at that. You can see the cord hanging from the ceiling. Whoa. My ugly sweater for Christmas is Wayne's World theme. That's all right. You know, honestly, I hate ugly Christmas sweaters. You know, I'm okay if they're like actually an ugly sweater, but I really don't know if I like the themed ones. This is the ugliest sweater I have. It's actually a hoodie. You know, I used to have like a Sacramento Kings. Whoops, like this. This is not a Sacramento Kings. This is actually a Sacramento Kings Exalt microfiber. Jesus. I poked myself. I used to have a King's ugly Christmas sweater. I don't know. I don't know. To each their own, you know. Yeah, MLG says, I'm looking forward to seeing the private label eras. As am I. You know, I think that's one of the things that we hope. You know, the Shocker era is so like simply milled. Let's see if I have Shocker era pictures even up here still. Nope. Yeah, the era's got such simple milling. That's what I hope too. I really hope that we see like some crazy guns, you know, because back in the day we had all kinds of crazy milling on guns. And because of that simplicity, I hope that it kind of like spurs on or like something to get them to make like more custom milled guns, because I really like it. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm with you. I would love to see it. Unlike ugly Christmas sweaters. I think ugly Christmas sweaters are just played out. I don't know. Unless it's like a real actual ugly sweater that's not trying to be ugly. Like if it's a Coogee sweater. Those Coogee sweaters are god awful. I have not shot the era yet. I haven't even been to the paintball field since the thing came out, honestly. I haven't been to the field in probably a month and a half. Somewhere in there. It's cold outside. I don't like the cold. It's 64 degrees outside. Too cold for me. It's been raining. That's about all. I was looking at my hand and I was like, it looks like a T-square. At work. At my work, if you were an ugly Christmas sweater, you get paintball entry for free. Well, that's kind of cool. I assume it's a paintball field. You don't work at like Lowe's or something. That'd be weird. Rob said it's 29 in Boston. You know, if I lived there, if I lived somewhere where it was 29 degrees, I might just cut my legs off and just call it. I mean, 29 is just way too cold. That's the point where I'm worried my feet are gonna freeze off or something. I don't know. It's funny. 64 and raining is a balmy spring day. It wasn't raining at least today. It was sunny. Although it's been raining the last like couple days, which is also out of the normal. I know that I complain about it being cold. It's kind of just funny. Ben, Brad, it's 25 outside right now. Y'all living up in the mid 60s. Yeah, it's freaking cold, dog. What temperature is it outside right now? I mean, the sun's going down. It's 58 now, so, you know. Maybe it wasn't 64 today. I think it was. Let's look at all the weather. Let's look at my weather. This is the weather app. This is some exciting stuff right now. Weather. I'm not in Cupertino though. We are in Carmichael, California, technically. 57. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this cold streak. What is with this cold streak? I mean, this is kind of cold, right? 40-ish. Somewhere in there. What's it in Death Valley? It's perfect weather. It's perfect time to go to Death Valley and go on a hike or go bike packing or something like that. Malibu is about the same, I guess. Not too much different. Anyway, enough on the weather. I kind of like the weather. You know, I at one point kind of thought being a meteorologist would be kind of cool. I could be like a weatherman, like pointing to stuff on a green screen. I'm like, the front is coming in here. It'd be kind of cool. Really did think about being a meteorologist. I don't know if I would be like a TV meteorologist, though. I don't know if that's very exciting. I don't know what I would do. Probably just work for some big corporation. Whoa, Ben! YouTube was like, hey, that's not good, because you said masshole. I don't know. Old Soul, the teens tonight. Gotta think about bringing in our winter pipes. Yeah, you know, here's a climate change thing. You know, I remember, like, when I was, like, you know, 20 years ago or 25 years ago, when I was younger, obviously. I was actually older 25 years ago. You know, in this area, there used to be way, way more fog. You know, I remember in the winter it being foggy. You know, we live in the valley, and, like, all this fog, like, goes into the valley, and it's cool, and it's whatever. Creates fog. There's, like, no fog anymore. And the same thing's happening in San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco's been known for fog, and there's just really not any fog anymore. It's kind of crazy, you know? It's so warm. The ocean is so much warmer now, it's just not creating fog like it used to be. And I think about that because I remember we used to have, like, to put, like foam insulation around our pipes and stuff outside. Like, you know, the ones that go to, like, the sprinkler, you know, to adjust the sprinklers or whatever. We used to have to put, like, like little foam things around pipes because it used to freeze, and it just doesn't get that cold anymore here. You know, maybe every once in a while, but not that often, you know. I mean, you can see, like, we'll go back to my location. It doesn't even get below 40. And it used to, I swear it used to. I mean, it certainly used to be foggier. And it's like never foggy anymore, which is, you know, a good thing. Merry Christmas. Go back to, I don't know, something. Next time. Let's see if I can talk about anything else. Do I have anything else planned on here? We can talk about Paintball Ruin My Life merch. If anyone wants to buy some cool ass shit, maybe you got like a friend that plays paintball and you want to get him a late Christmas present. It's probably too late to order any of this and get it there by Christmas. But you can go to the Paintball Ruined My Life store at pbrml.com/shop, or you can just go to Paintball Ruin My Life and it's up there in the top corner. There's lots of headbands on there. You can get headbands for $30. There's some 3-packs of headbands for $75. I almost said $35. There's 3 packs of headbands, $75. You know, it's pretty good. You can pick and choose which headband you want, kind of like build your own package. You can get a bunch of barrel covers on there. There's loads of barrel covers. That is not going to work, though. That promo code certainly won't work. Barrel covers on there, $7 or $15 for 3. Buy yourself or your teammate or your significant other, Maybe you have a plumber, you know, that's like, you know, you got a plumber coming in for the holidays because you broke the toilet because you eat too much food. Give the plumber a headband. Great take. Nipple itches. What was Ben's take? JJ, I think Sloviak wants to win on a team, for sure, as we all do, even if it means helping rebuild something like Aftershock. I wouldn't expect him to go to AC. I think he wants to win on a team. Yeah, I mean, I think we all want to win. But honestly, I think that at this point in the people's careers, like, I think that as we get older, you know, Nick's near my age, we kind of have to start thinking a little bit more about, like, the future and, like, planning for the future. I think Nick has 3 little kids that he's solely responsible for. So I think that looking at what the future holds is a good idea. So that probably might mean going to a team that can offer him multiple years and hopefully pay him a little bit as well. Which I think, you know, the newer Aftershock team or whatever they're calling themselves, that new version of NRG, they could very well do that too. And I think that any team that he goes for is going to probably offer him something. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with that. I just think that it would probably be a bigger team. I have no idea. Who knows, though? We will very much find out. JJ, what'd you say? Hair hanging by a thread. My hair is just gone. It's not gone. My hair is really long right now, though. Look at the gray hair. Yeah, it's kind of gray. It's just missing on top. Whoa, God. Well, that's a piece from the... I was like, I'm bleeding! Oh, there we go. I kind of like it in the front. Makes me feel like I've graduated. I'm like, yes. I graduated Santa school. Yeah. What I would really like to see, though, is Nick Sloviak go to a team that, like, yeah, level, they do shoot die guns. That's true. And, you know, I'm not entirely sure. Does Nick work for die? I really don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know in the chat room if anyone knows. He does, maybe. There's a 1 yes. You gotta be more reputable before I believe you, though. He said he was a sales rep on Facebook the other day. That sounds right. I was like, I don't know what he does, though. You know, I could be a sales rep. I thought about doing that. I actually was going to work. I was going to be a sales rep for Angel. Then they decided to go out of business like a bunch of losers. Yeah, I just would like to see Nick go to a team where he can, like, impact the team. I think that there's been times where he's played really, really well. And I want to say that, like, his maybe last year on Houston Heat or something like that, he played extremely well. There's been some times when he's played very well in the Ironman. Zizjone. He does a lot on their Instagram content too, I think, right? Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what made me, like, think about that too, is I was like, well, he does. I mean, there's been a lot of, like, you know, Nick Sloviak weird little videos on Instagram and YouTube and stuff for Die. But then he also plays for a team that's sponsored by them, so I was like, oh, who knows? Ben Lawton, I thought being a rep was a part of him being on the Ironman. It very well could be too. Maybe it was the other way around then. It's possible. Now, he probably works for Die. I would say he works for Die, and then him working for Die and the Ironman are kind of probably the same thing. Because it wouldn't be the first time that, like, players have worked for the company that's the main sponsor of their team. I think back to like the Philly All-Americans, or even Houston Heat, right? I mean, we had the late great Tim Montresor, for a very long time worked for DLX, Luxe, Smart Parts, and then as well, I think Chad George and Ryan Moorhead, and there was always those group of guys that worked for them. But there's also people that work for other companies that play for other teams that don't have anything to do with each other kind of too, so I don't know. Dye should keep paying him. They can afford it. That's for sure. I don't know. I mean, what does Dye even sell? I don't know. At one point, Dye was the biggest paintball company. Old Soul says it right there. Nick's always been a great brand ambassador, and he's just very good at like paintball in general, right? I mean, Nick's just a good dude, and he's funny, and he's likable, and all those things. So I think that no matter what company, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, but Dye used to be, one of the biggest CNC stuff. Dye used to be one of the biggest paintball companies, right? They had pants and pads, and everyone was buying their hoppers, and they had guns they were selling like crazy. So they were very influential in the market. And now it's like the only thing they really have is the DSR Plus. They have some barrels. They're maybe selling barrels every once in a while. Their knee pads and elbow pads are still pretty good. So I don't know. It's really about all. And then we have Dye. Dye definitely make a lot, like you guys are saying in the chat room. Golly. How about that right there? Dye also make a lot of like machining parts, right? I don't know. Someone said something about the military. I don't know. But this is a whole separate company. It's like they're probably not going to take the money that they're getting from manufacturing this kind of stuff and put it into the paintball brand, right? I mean, they're just two totally separate manufactured companies. So, if I was in charge, we wouldn't be stealing money from the successful one and giving it to the non-successful one. That's probably not the greatest idea. So while, Dave Youngblood, the owner of Dye, might be making good money on the CNC stuff, I don't know if I would conflate the two. I think that they're two totally separate things. An AR-15 bolt, I don't know. I can't even I don't even know what any of this stuff is. Although Dye's been doing this, manufacturing this stuff, the CNC stuff, for a very long time. And these are the same exact pictures they've had on their website forever. So, right there, AR-15 bolt. I don't even know. But I don't know, and I don't know, their priority either, because Dave Youngblood, the owner of Dye, he could just want to, have a really good team. Either way, whether it makes financial sense or not. So it's very possible that they use some of that money to do whatever the hell we were talking about. I don't even remember how that came up. That's what I would do. I don't know. I'd probably spend all the money, and it probably would not be good because, again, I'm not the greatest business person. That's been bared out multiple times. Me trying to start businesses. Old Soul, yep. Dye and Free Flow have a partnership. Yeah, Dye's making all their pneumatics and stuff. Depends on how much he likes paintball, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you want to take that money and make a team. And I don't really know. I mean, Dave, he used to go to a lot of the tournaments, but no, I don't know if he is anymore. I really don't know. I don't think so. He used to fly his plane to tournaments. He had a Cessna, and he used to fly the Cessna to tournaments sometimes. That's pretty cool. My ultimate dream is to skydive into a paintball tournament. Skydive in, that'd be really fun. Who knows what's happening? What else can we talk about? My phone was vibrating. What the hell is going on? I'm looking at things we can talk about. Nope, I don't know. Zero Fox, Lux Idol. Yeah, we talked about the Lux Idol a lot. There's nothing really to talk about, you know? I mean, like, it's just like the same, not the same thing, but we're gonna get rid of some things here. It's not the same thing. I mean, who knows what it is? I mean, we really don't know anything about it. All we know is it's $1,800. It's coming in like 7 colors-ish or something like that. Hopefully we see it very soon. I mean, it should be... I mean, there's a little bit of a sneak peek in there. I mean, the case looks different. You can kind of see that like... bungee, like that cord or whatever that's on the inside of the case looks bigger. The case looks way fatter. I don't know. You know, I kind of thought the name, I was interested about the name because the previous Luxe, the TM40, is named after Tim Montresor. So it's kind of like an homage or like a, not an homage, but like a, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Like a salute to Tim? I don't know. So the idol, you know, the idol name might kind of go along with that. How it's like, you know, Tim was an idol in paintball, I guess. So maybe that naming convention kind of carries over a little bit. But we really don't know anything about the thing. I mean, hope it's something completely different under the hood, as do I, you know, because... they did put in their email to everybody that it's been meticulously designed. I keep wanting to say meticulously redesigned because that's probably what I would have put. It's redefined and with the most features of any previous model change. So apparently it's going to be quite a bit different. But we'll have to see. That could be just like, you know, marketing mumbo jumbo and nonsense too, because, you know, they're not going to put like, they're not going to put it out and be like, you know, send the email out to everybody and be like, it's about the same thing. So they've got to like, you know, somehow play it up. So who knows? I really hope there is a new dye gun coming soon. The one time I hope Will Ball for Soup is right. This, no. I mean, there was that new dye gun. Let me see if I've got it here still. There were like those like, renderings of the new dye gun, but I don't have it anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but then there was those like renderings of the dye gun or like those photos of the dye stuff or whatever, and they said it wasn't real, so who knows? Impulse coming back. You know, I'd like to see the Impulse come back. I'm waiting for the day gun manufacturers start selling water-resistant proof electronics as a feature, even though we should have had them 15 years ago. Some of them do, sort of. I mean, I don't want to say that they're definitely not waterproof, but some of them are water-resistant. I mean, some of them, they spray them down. They like, you know, take the board and they spray it with like epoxy or something to help like seal it in there. The biggest like failure points are probably just where we're getting like connections, you know, like where a battery terminal has to plug in or where the eyes plug in or, you know, spots where we're having like connections. I would assume that that's probably the weakest spot. I don't know which companies do though, but some of them certainly have like made them like a little bit, I don't even want to say water resistant, you know, like maybe like less prone to water problems. Who knows? Ben, new dye gun is coming, but I can't imagine it'd be but I can't imagine it'd be as boring as the leak. I actually thought it was cool. I liked it. I thought it looked kind of neat. I think that what I'd really kind of like to see is just like a high-end version of the DSR Plus. Not that the DSR Plus is like low-end by any means, but I really kind of would like to see like a higher-end version of that DSR. I think the DSR Bolt, that whatever they're calling Flex something, shoots amazing. I mean, it's a very nice gun. I mean, they're really quiet and they've been reliable. They're fairly air efficient. So I just kind of like to see them like make like a DSR plus or something. I don't know. Who knows? Isn't the LV2 the last of the stacked tubes? It's probably not the last. There'll be more. It's currently the only one in production that's high end, at least. I mean, there's other guns that are stacked tube poppets, but like that's the highest end one. It'd be cool if people didn't also just leak stuff just for their own immediate gain and let the companies release it properly. I don't know. I kind of like the leaks. I think it's kind of fun. From a manufacturer perspective, I get it. Like, I wouldn't want that either because you want to be able to control the narrative, right? But I kind of find it interesting. I think that it creates excitement and interest in the products. It's like a lot of companies, not in paintball, but in other industries, leak stuff on purpose. Google used to do it on purpose to try to like hype up their Pixel phones. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't do it because I don't want to like upset people, and just don't really care that much. I'm not like trying to hunt down the most up-to-date information all the time. But I kind of like it. I hear you though, for sure. But to me, it doesn't matter at all. I don't own Planet Eclipse or Die or anyone. I could care less. DSR Plus needs a better trigger like the M3 trigger. Yeah, the M3 Plus trigger is a little bit better. Or the M3S or whatever. It just feels a little bit nicer. It's kind of what I like about the new Shocker. I think that the Shocker era trigger feels a little bit nicer than the amp. It's a little bit more like responsive. I really don't like these triggers that kind of feel mushy. It's one of the complaints I have about the new Planet Eclipse guns. Like, I don't really like the way the CS3 trigger feels. I didn't like the way the CS2 trigger feels. I really liked like the 3.5. I really like the LV 1.6 or LV1s. How it's like metal on metal. I really like how the trigger stop is just like metal on metal. So it's like, it's very like stops, and it's like, it just like feels a lot more solid and crisp versus like, yeah, the DSR triggers that feel kind of mushy. I don't know what's with that, right? I want it to feel like dink, dink, dink when I'm pulling the trigger, like those old Planet Eclipse guns. Steven Jackson. Do you like saying it like that? So I say Steven Jackson. With a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Your favorite pro team 2024. I don't know. I mean, Dynasty's probably going to win everything again. I mean, I can't see Dynasty, the classics. I can't see Dynasty, Heat, Impact, whatever, Damage, X Factor, those teams. But I don't know, like, what's the team that I want to, like, watch the most? Probably New York Extreme. I think that, like, I really like the way they play. They play really, like, they have players that are really aggressive. I really like the way Pat Kraft plays. I really like the way Jerry Caro plays. And they got Carlos Cortez. They have Will Hennessy. All those guys are like aggressive and kind of fun to watch. They just got Thomas Taylor, which is really cool. So I kind of look forward to hopefully, seeing them like do better this year. Yeah, better this year. And then I also, oh, there we are again. 189 Super Chat. Stephen Jackson. This is my new thing. I'm gonna like slink away. I'm gonna watch Blast Camp like a hawk. You know what I really want to see is maybe not Blast Camp so much as, or PB Fit so much. I really want to watch Blast Camp and PB Fit play. I hope Blast Camp beats Paintball Fit so bad. So that's what I'm rooting for sure. Blast Camp doing however well they do, but I really want to see them beat PB Fit. That'd be really good. Because they just getting their ass kicked by them the whole time. So I really hope that like the first tournament, they figure it out and somehow they get Paintball Fit and Blast Camp to play each other. I would really like to see that. But I always want to see the teams that are doing, underdog-ish do well. That's why I say New York Extreme, I want to see people that haven't won tournaments. I want to see people that haven't played a lot of, or haven't won tournaments, winning tournaments. I think it's just cool for them personally, I think that I still might want to watch those higher end, more successful teams in the finals, right? Like, it's way fun to watch, Dynasty and Impact and all those teams kind of like go crazy in the finals. But at the same time, I'd like to see Blast Camp and New York Extreme and, Level, if they're going to be called that, do well. Alex, 199 Super Chat. Here we go. Did you find out if you're playing at Vegas yet? No, I'm not playing. I don't have the time. There's some family stuff that I got to take care of that's, I got a sick relative that I'm kind of tending to a little bit. And I don't really have the money. So, it's mainly money. Because if I had a lot of money, I'd probably be able to go. I'm unfortunately not going to go. Yeah. Yep. That's about all. Zero Fox. Yeah, some people winning all the time is boring. It is boring, but at the same time, I remember that the NFL thought, the NFL's been trying to do have parity in their league for a long time, right? Have all the teams be good, right? They want everyone to be 6-6 or 8-8 or whatever it is. They play 16 games, right? They want everyone to be just as good as everyone. So, no matter when you tune in, no matter what game you watch, there's going to be, a good game, right? You could watch, the first place team and the last place team, and they almost have the same record. So it's going to be a good game. But what they actually found out was that people actually want to watch blowouts. People actually want to see, the 49ers destroy everyone. Just like people actually kind of like to see Dynasty or Impact or Heat or whoever kind of crush people. And we kind of like those super teams. We like when there's super teams that are way better than everybody. Because it is kind of a little bit more interesting, I think, than having a bunch of mediocre teams. Right? I kind of want to watch the best. Not a bunch of teams that are kind of the same. So it's kind of cool to see teams that are way better than everybody. But at the same time, I'm with you. I kind of want the lower tiered paintball teams to do well. Zero Fox again. Back when Green Bay and Lombardi was winning all the time, people liked it. Right? They do and they don't, right? I think you get people that just complain because they're jealous in a way. It's like the Patriots when they were super good for a long time. Everyone just hated on the Patriots. But everyone watched the Patriots when they were on Monday Night Football or whatever it was. And I think that the same thing's true with these other teams, right? I put out time to watch the good paintball matches, right? If X Factor and Dynasty are playing, or if Heat and Red Legion are playing or whatever, I'll want to watch those games. Whereas I'm not probably going to be so interested if it's like the Ironmen and the Bears or something like that. Just because they're not as good, right? So you're not seeing the same like performance from those people. Maybe? I mean, I don't really know. Goofy by nature, me too a little bit. Well, I'm just an idiot. When you have teams like Dynasty with the year after year core, it's hard to compete when everyone is just hiring guns for 1-year contracts. I don't know. I mean, for sure, but I don't know if it's... It is weird. It's kind of like that and not like that at the same time, right? Because if you look at some of these rosters, you've had people on those teams for years, decades almost, you know? Like Houston Heat have kind of had the same roster for like 10 years, you know? And then Impact have had like pretty much the same roster. I mean, you have... There's been kind of a shakeup in the last year, but they have a lot of guys who've been playing on the team for a long time. But then at the same time, you have, you know, teams like AC Diesel that are just like, you know, all over the place with getting new people. And there's other teams that are constantly changing out rosters. So we kind of have both things, right? We kind of have teams that are around for a long time. And then, like you said, hired guns that are just there for a year. So it is kind of like, you know, a little bit back and forth. Alex, it would be cool to meet you out there. I'm thinking of going. It would be my first NXL ever. I'm not going. NXL Vegas is great. It's a fantastic location. The weather's most of the time pretty good. And there's lots of stuff to do. You know, it's really close. The field's really close to like lots of hotels and all kinds of stuff. So Vegas is a perfect event to go to. I mean, obviously it kind of matters where you live. You know, it's great for me because it doesn't take as long to get there. I don't have to fly across the country. Ben, what'd you say? I saw this Bostonian. As a Bostonian, seeing the collapse of the Patriots dynasty without Brady now, oh boy, what a downer. Yeah, but you know, you guys were good for so long. But then I think about the 49ers too, like here in, you know, NorCal. We have the 49ers. The Warriors, and the Giants. And they've all been really good forever too. I'm not really a Warriors fan. I'm more of a Kings fan. And we're never good. So the whole thing. JJ, I think paintball needs more exciting announcers. Matty Marshall is great, but his voice reminds me of a narrator of The Sandlot. Well, Sandlot's a good movie, so that's a compliment, right? I think that will help paintball grow. Matty is great though. You know, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure the answer to that. I think that I've always liked Matt. I thought Matt's done a really good job. Matty's done a really good job for a long time. I've complained about announcing in the past, for sure. At one point I thought Rich Telford, his like co-host most of the time. I thought Rich did a good and bad job, but now I think Rich has done fantastic. I think at one point Rich was trying to be too funny, too much, you know, because it's kind of his personality, but it was just too much, and now he's kind of toned it back a little bit, and he does a great job. I personally would like to see probably 3 people in there. I think that my ideal announcing crew would probably be Matt Marshall, Todd Martinez, and then probably even Rich, you know. And I think that I also really like how they have like they'll keep Rich and Matt up there, and then I'll put a random pro in there with them. Like it's really cool when like some of the Dynasty guys go in the booth, or you know, Chad George is up there. We've had Ronnie D's on up there a lot, so I really like that when they have the pro guys in there, because they actually give you real insight. You know, it's not like Matt doesn't know what he's talking about. But coming from the players that are on the field that just played all day long on that field, getting their insight kind of helps very much so with like, I don't know, being able to understand just what's going on or whatever. We're talking about Joe Buck. I keep feeling these Joe Buck answers. Joe Buck and Chris Collinsworth. Can't do it. Do you not like Joe Buck and Chris Collinsworth? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really have much of an opinion on that kind of stuff. I know people don't like Joe Buck. I don't know why, though. Why don't you like Joe Buck? Why don't people like Joe Buck? His voice is super smooth. You know what's crazy? Who's really good at like announcing stuff is Tony Romo. It's kind of wild how like some of these players like are just really good at like talking as well. I mean, Tony Romo is so good in that like announcer booth. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, Marcelo, any of the guys who were like used to talking are probably good in that announcer booth. And Marcelo's one of those people who talks. You know, Marcelo talks with a podcast quite a bit. Tyler Harmon also talks on the podcast, but I don't know. You know, Tyler's the man, though. I think Bear DiDigio is perfect. I'm with you on that. Let's bring back Bear. I think Bear DiDigio is perfect. I used to love when he did interviews in the Millennium talking shit to the French guy. I don't know what you're talking about there. I could deal without Bear in the interview, in the announcer's booth. I don't want that. But it would be funny to see him do something. But he's all out doing like real life stuff. He's got like real businesses and all kinds of stuff. Who knows? I low-key like the Manning casts. We need Peyton and Eli. Peyton Manning and Eli are also... I've never really watched that. That's like when they do like a watch, like, you know, they're kind of talking over it at home or something like that. I've sort of thought about doing those, and maybe will next year. I've done it a couple times where I've done like the finals. We've done like this when the finals were on, and I kind of like talk about the finals when they're happening. Old soul, Joe Buck, here we go. I'm really curious, because I know a lot of people don't like him. Doesn't his, like, you said his daddy's legacy. Didn't his dad, was his dad an announcer? I don't even know. Joe Buck is dry and got the job from his daddy's legacy. Chris Collinsworth can't get 5 minutes without bringing up the Pats or Brady, even when they're not playing in the game. That's funny. I don't even really notice. I don't really watch football that much, though. I watch the 49ers play. That's about all. I mean, sometimes I'll watch, like, you know, Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football or something like that. I used to watch baseball every day. I watch basketball a lot. And there's some good announcing right there. I mean, dude, when they have Mike... Jesus. When they have the Van Gundy brothers on, like, Jeff Van Gundy is probably one of the best announcers. Like, best, like, color analysts. I love it. Dude, they're hilarious. I think that when you get, like, people to do the broadcast that don't need to be doing the broadcast, it might be even a little bit better. Nathan, off topic. It's not off topic. What we're talking about right now is way off topic. I don't even know anything about announcing. Here we are talking about announcing. Hubie Brown, yeah, Hubie Brown's like, I guess he was good, yeah. I mean, we have Mark Jones. Mark Jones, NBA or ESPN announcer, ABC announcer. Mark Jones is the announcer for the Sacramento Kings, so that's really cool. Anyway, Nathan asked, off topic, but has the LV2 had problems? Not that I know of. I mean, there's obviously some little things, but that's like every gun. You know, everything's got like some little weird thing. I mean, things wear out or... Yeah, no, not really. I mean, the only problem with the LV... There was that problem with the LV2 when it was released. They had a problem with people, like, screwing out or screwing out the high-pressure regulator and making the pressures too high. But I think that's really the only problem. Maybe? I don't know. I'd say all players, semi-pro to pro, are great players. True. Yeah. There's definitely a level difference, though. They might not be ATM. They might, I don't know what that means. They might not be ATM you are watching. I don't know. We're skipping it. I don't know. Basketball has excellent announcing. You know what's good for like what's kind of hard about football too is all the games are on the same day. But basketball, you know, you think basketball, baseball, hockey and stuff, like they have their own home announcers as well. You know, because they got to do all the home games, whereas football, at least for TV, it's different announcers every time. It just kind of matters what network they're on. I think people were cranking in the HPR and cracking the seat. Yeah, I can't really remember. But I can't even remember now. Is out? You have to screw that out to increase the pressure, right? Aren't all the planar eclipse guns out? You turn the pressure up by screwing it out. I don't really know. I know at the moment, I knew AT, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but it's just hard to read it's hard to read out loud like that. I'd say all players, semi-pro and pro, are great. They might not be at the moment you are watching. Okay, that's easier. You are watching them, but they made it that far for a reason. Shitty players don't get picked up. Semi-pro's different. I mean, there's not like, you know, there's some skeptical players in semi-pro, but there's some teams in semi-pro that are just god-awful, you know. Because semi-pro, you just got to get 5 people together and you're semi-pro. You know, I totally agree with you on pro. It's like, you know, we've talked about basketball a lot on here because I prefer basketball as a sport. I make that line up perfect. You know, we talk about basketball a lot, and it is crazy. You know, I've played against NBA players, and I've played against D1 basketball players, and I'm not good at basketball. I'm just like a guy, right? And it is mind-blowing how good they are. Like, and the people I've played against weren't that good. You know, in the realm of NBA, they weren't even good. So it's like, it's crazy the skill level. And the same thing goes for paintball, right? Unless you're playing against these people, it's really kind of hard to understand. And certainly the pro guys, I mean, so many of those guys can shoot so well, and their shots are so accurate and so just like spot on every time. It really doesn't make sense to me. It's really kind of hard for me to understand just how straight they can shoot. It's also running and shooting, right? I mean, running and shooting is just off the charts with these pro guys. I mean, you see a guy like running and shooting a guy all the way across the field, and it's like, dude, I can't do that shit. For me to be able to like run and shoot someone, I gotta be like, you know, bunkering them. You know, I can't run and shoot for the life of me. I mean, sure, I do it, but like, I'm not hitting anything. It's just very, very difficult. So it's like they're just individual skills are just wild. Like, it's stuff that I don't really quite understand. I don't know. And paintball is one of those things where it's like kind of hard to see it well, right? Like, it's really kind of hard to understand that one snapshot that guy made, or that running and shooting shot. Like, in basketball, it's just all kind of out in the open. So it's easier to see that guy cross that guy over, or someone dunking on someone or something. So paintball is such like a, it's like a, there's like a very like nuanced or whatever. It's very hard to kind of see that skill come out. And that's, you know, a problem we've struggled with forever. And I honestly think that we'll probably struggle with that forever. Go play the New York Wrecking Crew and tell me they don't play pro. We'll find out. I mean, Paintball Fit, you know, they literally won every single tournament last year. And they're going pro next year, and I bet you they won't do that good. Not that they're not really, really good. It's just that, you know, Dynasty is better, and Impact and Heat and Russian Legion and Damage and X Factor, you know, all those guys are just better. I think every year we see that. There's like some semi-pro team that's like really good, and we're like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do any good. And it's like, they got 14th. It's like, yeah, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I've played against, semi-pro players. I played semi-pro and whatever. Not for a long time. I played one whole tournament. I feel it, but just shitting on everyone, but like top 4 pro teams is dumb. I don't know what that means. It's hard to follow for me. It's weird how some teams can only win one match an entire tournament and get 3rd place. Well, that shouldn't happen unless there's only 3 teams. Because you can't really go in the pro division, you can't really go 1 in 3. I guess you technically maybe can make it on, but you got to be able to win the tournaments after. You got to be able to win the matches after like the prelims, right? I mean, everyone could just die in a train crash or something, but train crashes, they're not that common. Train derailments, they're probably more common than we think, though. Willis, I'm trying to understand this. I feel it. But just shitting on, it looks like shifting. But just shitting on everyone but like 4 top teams is dumb. I don't even know what that means. Who knows what's going on? Goofy. Yeah, I film all levels of paintball at NXL and play against Aftermath at ASG sometimes. You can definitely see skill gaps from D5 up the ladder. For sure. I did just read the words. I feel it, but just shitting on everyone but like the top 4 teams is dumb. I don't know what that means. No, I didn't say I want to watch the top 4 teams. I certainly don't. I was just talking about how I want to watch Blast Camp and PB Fit. They're like the bottom teams. You can't go any lower. I say that I think most people want to watch the top teams, It's true, though. Right? I mean, it's definitely true. 100% true. I mean, you could just go look at like people's Instagram followers and stuff. And most of those like top teams are going to have like more followers. Just like Ghost Sports. If we knew the Ghost Sports data, they could actually tell us. Yeah. Anyway. Nasty is semi-pro, got 4th at Cup and only won a single match. How? How? Because like if you made it through the prelims, if you played your 4 matches, that means that they were 1 in 3 going into the quarterfinals. So they lost the quarterfinals, but got 4th? I don't know. I certainly don't remember. Not that I even knew that. I think it's more fun to see the stars and who is next up. Sure. But I'd rather watch Dynasty and Damage play than like the Iron Men and like ML Kings, right? I just would. And I think that's mainly because I just know those players, right? Like I'm familiar with Damage and I'm familiar with Dynasty, so I kind of like know who the people are. So it makes it a little bit more interesting as well. Well, there we go. Comp Paintball says Nasty got a bye in the quarters along with Newbies, BC at Blast Camp, and Fit. So how the hell did they... Okay, I don't know. That's right. Didn't it World Cup they did like something weird? Or was that only in like pro? Because in the pro division, didn't they give like the top 4 teams a bye? Did they do that in semi? They did that in semi-pro, I guess, too then. I don't know. That's crazy, though. If they only won a match and got 4th, that's gnarly. That just seems crazy to me. Let's go look. Let's see who they beat. Let's see how that actually worked out. Kabingo. Then we can go here. Then we can go here. Then we can go here. Is scores the best way to look? Smoke Fools. Yeah, we already talked about the whatever. The look at all these goddamn divisions. We already talked about whatever. Nasty, 4th place. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so Nasty. Oh, they got a bye in the prelims. That's helpful. I thought that I assumed that they played their 4 matches and then somehow. That's crazy, dude. So they beat Leverage. That's funny. So the quarters, and then that put them in 4th? That's wild. That is kind of funny. That's crazy. Look at that. That is funny. That's funny. That's crazy. So they got smoked by PB Fit and Blast Camp and the newbies and Paintball Fit again. That's Scalp Team. They were really good. They actually were pretty impressive. I didn't know anything about these guys. And look at that. That's crazy, right? I mean, coming over, I think, from France, and then with a bunch of people I've never heard of, you know, a bunch of actual. Oh, I know that. I know Alexander Pizzone. He played for Tauntauns forever. Yeah, but just a bunch of actual, real semi-pro guys from France, just killing it. It's crazy. Would they get 3rd or something like that? But look at all the games they had to win to get 3rd. And then Nasty had to win that one. That is kind of crazy. Hilarious. Hilarious. It's weird that they had a bye in the prelims, because I didn't even know that. Because the pro teams, oop, wrong monitor. The pro teams, why do we have 2 Pro X balls? Because the pro teams they had a bye in the prelims too. I thought it was they had a bye in the quarterfinals or something like that. I'm all off. I'm all over the place. Then look at this, 9-3. Jesus Christ. Go Tauntauns. I really wish the Tauntauns would come play in America. But their little French boys want to stay over there. That's crazy. Nasty did a really good job in Chicago, though. Yeah, they must have. I mean, to be able to get, they're obviously one of those top 4 teams. So they've, I'm assuming, done pretty well all year. I'm not keeping track of this semi-pro stuff. That's pro. I'm not keeping track of this semi-pro stuff. Certainly not as much as, the pro paintball. Which is normal. I don't really keep track of semi-pro basketball either, so that's also not a thing. Let's see here. It's in reverse order. Didn't it used to start at the top? Maybe not. I don't know. 4th, 5th, they did even better at World Cup, but that's probably that, that bye might have helped them a little bit. 19th, that's not very good. That's an open 5-man. 6th and a 7th and an 8th. Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, that's better than I've ever done in semi-pro, that's for damn sure. It's really hard. I mean, semi-pro is one of those things where it's just it's weird, right? I mean, the top 10 teams are very good. And then the bottom 10 teams are very bad. But there really aren't. It's hard to say that bottom 10 teams, though, as well, because, I mean, some of them don't even have, they don't play all the tournaments, though, either. So it's Oh, God, there's so many divisions. It's freaking crazy. Oh, this is just World Cup. Yeah, but the bottom teams, they just don't play, you know, all the tournaments. So it's like, I don't know. We go to semi-pro. It's like, yeah, you get this in the bottom. It's just kind of weird. Oh, that's WNXL, yeah. But the same thing, you know, I mean, you get all these teams that don't really play a lot of tournaments. So, you know, there's no reason that they should be good. But there's a huge gap. I mean, there's a big gap between, like, Paintball Fit, Blast Camp, and, like, you know, the Greenville Growl, and, like, GG Factory. But, I mean, all these teams and all these people are still very good. You know, it's the same thing I was saying about basketball. It's just insane how good these people really are. Even though they're not doing, you know, the greatest maybe in their division, they're still way better than I'm ever going to be at paintball. That's for damn sure. I don't really try. Nasty didn't practice either. Well, that's why they lost all their matches, except for one. Arsenal always makes me think of Jawbreaker 5. Why are we talking about Arsenal? Tom 4, the guy who used to own Arsenal, owns Revo now, right? Didn't he buy Revo? It's Revo, right? I think it was Revo. Paintball rules are dumb. It's kind of just confusing. You know, one of the good things about paintball, I think, it's good and bad, right, is there aren't a lot of rules. You know, it's kind of like soccer or hockey. There really aren't that many rules, you know. There's not that much stuff happening, which is a good and bad thing, right? I think that the more intricate stuff is, the more rules we have, actually, I think makes it a little bit more interesting. You know, it's one of the reasons I think that football is interesting to people, because there's so many different pieces. There's so many different things to pay attention to and watch for. The plays and everything are so complicated. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. But at the same time, that simplicity is cool too, you know. Semi-pro is really competitive, Comp Paintball says. It's just much more turbulent, as it should be. Sure. The Royal City Sea Dogs. Aren't there Royal City Sea Dogs Canadians? I don't like we don't like Canadians around here. Turbulent. Yeah. It's probably because, like, I mean, I wonder if it's because, like, the players just aren't as good and consistent, you know? I mean, obviously those top tier teams are, like, Blast Camp and Paintball Fit are consistent. But the lower teams, middle-ish pack teams, probably aren't as consistent. Yeah. Anyway. Heat got 6th at Cup, but lost every match. Did they too? That's crazy. Did they? How though? I just don't even think that should be a thing. I want to see. 6th place. It's crazy how they like doubled points. I don't know if I like the double points. Is it gonna like be like this schedule's retarded? What? What is happening here? They only played 4 matches though? What? So they lost to Damage, they lost to Dynasty, they lost to Tauntauns, they lost to Impact, but they got 6th? That's crazy. Huh. That's just wild. Because look, you have like, you know, Infamous. I'm like in the way. I like can't even see this because my head's in the way. Like Infamous goes to the Ochos. Infamous actually moves on and they get like a lower placing. That's wild, dude. That's wacky. What damage? I don't even remember, really. Well, that's true, because they got the bye. So they did get a bye, too. They didn't have to go straight. They didn't have to play those other things. Anyway. I'm not going to talk about that no more. Freaking weird. I don't know. Round robin between the top 4 placement in the Sunday brackets. I don't even know. Sounds good. Double points is a little weird. I mean, thankfully it didn't really matter. I don't think it really came down to it, but who knows. Heat was usually top 4 every tournament this season. Were they? I don't even know. Monty Sandoval, what division am I? I am technically Division 4. But I don't really play tournaments, you know. The highest division I played was Division 1. Which Division 1, I don't even think it was called semi-pro, but it was whatever below pro was. But I only played one tournament, but for the most part I played Division 2. That's probably like the highest I played consistently. But it's a very long time ago. I mean, the last tournament I played was 2013, I think. So like 10 years ago. It's been a long time. I don't know. I just have no desire to play tournaments anymore, really. You know, maybe I'd go play like a 10-man or something like that, but I don't have any real desire to like join a team and like go to practice and like, I don't want to do that. This doesn't sound that fun. Talking about guns, we've not been talking about that. Maybe you're watching in the past. It would be cool to see a Poppet with a closed bolt feature that the Nerve had. Yeah, it's hard to say closed bolt feature. Wait, I know what you're talking about. Like the bolt is enclosed. How about that? Yeah, I mean, like Angels were like that. There was the Angel. That was a Poppet valve with an enclosed bolt. What's another one? The Nerve, definitely, like you said, you had to like pull it out the back or something like that. I don't know of any other ones. Duke Stevens, have you talked about the cost for most pro players in paintball? What do you mean? Spider Imagine? No, not the Spider Imagine. It was all like open. I mean, it might not have been open like, you know, other guns, but you could see the bolt moving back and forth. Maybe the Spider EM1. I'm like looking for the browser, but it's not gonna happen. I'm like 99.99% sure. Spider Imagines. Opened, open, open. Well, maybe. I mean, maybe this really old one. Nope. Was this one closed in there? Maybe you're completely right. This is the same gun though, right? Is that an Imagine? I don't know if that's an Imagine. It says it is. Anyway. I don't know. Spider Imagine. The Spider Flash. The Axe and VCOM? Yeah, technically. I mean, technically those are, but those don't, that's not what... Let's say stacked tube poppets. How about that? Technically, the Bob Long gun. Some of the Bob Long guns and the Axes and stuff, right, were, I guess. Spiders have always been the absolute worst markers ever. No, they were not really. I mean, not back in like 1998, you know? I mean, you didn't really have a ton of options. But, you know, really the Tippmans were probably better then too. My first paintball gun was a Piranha. The Piranha VTL. And then I had a spider shutter. And then a lot of autocockers. A single autococker. Duke Stevens, there you are. A lot of pros have come out of pocket. I thought you were going to say a lot of pros are coming out. I was like, damn, dude. Well, whatever. Good for them. It'd just be kind of weird if like 80% of the pro division came out as gay. That'd just be a little odd. A lot of pros have to come out of pocket for flights, hotels, paint, food, etc. A lot of pros don't make money either. That is true. True. I mean, I don't know, maybe not like a lot. I don't know, maybe not a lot of players have to pay for flights and hotels and paint and all that stuff. I imagine some of that stuff is covered. I imagine most of the players aren't paying for paint, especially at the tournaments. But I would assume that most of the pros aren't paying for flights and hotels. Most, right? But I mean like most by like over 50%. You know, not like 98%. Because there's certainly guys, you know, on teams that are paying their way to get there. Which is unfortunate. I don't think that should be like that, you know. Where there's some guys who get paid $100,000 and then some people have to pay to do it. It's kind of weird. So I don't know. The E99. Oh yeah. The Kingman Hammer. The Hammer 7? Or Hammer 7? What was the other one that was the Hammer 7 but it was mag-fed? The MR6, right? The Spider MR6. Pros don't pay for paint. They go broke on paint alone. You know, I don't know. I mean, at the tournaments maybe. The tournaments they probably don't, but I could see them paying, you know, for practice paint and stuff some. Duke Stevens, ML Kings are pay to play, same for NRG. Yeah, kind of though, right? I mean, they definitely have sponsors, you know, so the sponsors are obviously helping out a little bit. But obviously they're, you know, having, maybe not obvious, but they're definitely using more of their own funds than teams like Heat and Impact and Dynasty and whoever, for sure. For sure. But they're not like buying guns and like all that stuff. That would be crazy. You had to buy your own guns. They'd just like, everyone would just shoot Planet Eclipse guns. I mean, everyone just straight up would have Planet Eclipse. It's like Thomas, you know, Thomas Taylor leaving Infamous, going over to NYX. He said one of the main reasons, or one of the things he wanted to do when he found a new team was to make sure they used Planet Eclipse guns. And I was like, damn, dude, you're going to join a team fully based around what guns they use? I'm like, that's crazy. I kind of get it, though. I mean, you know, I don't want to use mech dev guns. I don't really want to use die guns either. I mean, I'd be okay with using Luxes, but I don't know. We talked about this last time. Is MacDev even sponsoring a pro team? I don't even know if MacDev is sponsoring a pro team. Impossible to tighten those ASAs down, the Phillips head screws. On the Piranhas? I don't think the Piranhas did. Piranhas actually used screws that accepted Allen wrenches. Everything on the Spider included ASA was, oh yeah. Dude, you know what the bitch was? When they'd put those goddamn Phillips screws like into the grip frame to hold that little teeny drop forward, and then it'd have like the ASA coming off the back. So you'd have to like get the screwdriver in there at some crazy ass angle, and you have to like fucking really press down to get it to turn because it's at such a wacky angle it just slips out normally. God. It's called cheap. It's called being cheap, trying to save money. I remember the Piranhas all having like not Phillips, but all having Allen keys or like hex keys or hex heads or whatever, right? I'm like 90% sure. It's just insane. Phillips head screws, it's criminal. You're right. It's just crazy. You really had to go at like a wacky ass angle. It's like, what are we doing? For sure. Oh yeah, I mean, I've probably fixed more spiders than you guys have ever even touched paintball guns. No joke, I've probably fixed, I don't know, maybe like, yeah, the stupid spider with the offset threads, the holes, they'd like put them off center, which, I don't know, physically it might actually make, like, mechanically it might make it a little better, but nothing else was like that. So you'd have those stupid adapter blocks. You know, I've probably fixed over 1,000. Just spiders. I actually didn't mind it. I've probably fixed 800 Tipmans. No joke. No joke. I wish there was another company that rivaled Planet Eclipse in reliability. The new Planet Eclipse guns just seem kind of boring. That's what I think. You know, they're the best. You know, they're definitely the best. I mean, you know, they shoot really well. I think the quality is probably the best. They have probably the best features. I mean, we were talking about that today at the paintball store. Like, I really hope that the new Luxe comes with better grips. I hate how the, like, grips, they have those snap grips and you have to, like, pry them off and it just feels like you're gonna break stuff. So I really hope that, like, the new guns come with better grips. But, I mean, you're completely right. You know, I think that I've equated and kind of, like, compared Planet Eclipse to Apple, right? I mean, Apple make the best phones. No question about it, right? I mean, they're the most reliable. The software works the best. I think that they work better for longer. They're the best phones, but they're kind of boring, right? I mean, they're like the same thing every year. It's not the most exciting product. And Planet Eclipse is kind of the same way. It's like the best, but it's just kind of like, it's just kind of annoying, you know? So I certainly hope that the new Luxe Idol maybe puts up more of a fight and competes more against Planet Eclipse. Mark, you've actually been in here the whole time, and I keep seeing your name. Howdy, sir. Brad, you coming out the day after Crimea? What the heck does CRIMA? The day Christmas. Probably. Most likely, you know, I wanted to play this weekend, but it's probably not the greatest weekend. Wait, is the field open on Tuesday? Is that what you're telling me, Mark? I mean, I feel like I got some in my eye. Tuesday. Man, I don't know. My gosh. Not really sure, actually. I don't know. I definitely want to come out the weekend after. I don't know, maybe I'll just come. Are you going to go out there? Are you guys going to go play? On Tuesday? Damn. I really don't know. I didn't even realize. I always forget. I know that the field is always open the day after Christmas. Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see what's actually going on. Hopefully we don't have a hangover. Because I always gotta get hammered at Christmas or it's like, I wanna kill myself. That's not true. I wanna cut my legs off. I don't know. Bad Company was essentially false advertising. Yeah, in a way. I mean, it's kind of like Tipman Effect, but Tipman Effect their guns were a little bit more realistic. When I took pictures, I went to MPPL San Diego in 2007. 2007 NPPL, and I was taking pictures on all the fields, and some of the bad guys actually came up to me and were like, "Don't take pictures of us." That really happened. It's kind of funny because they'd essentially like take intimidators and put intimidators inside of their spiders to make them, you know, shoot faster and actually work well. And then there was Tipman Effect too. Tipman Effect used all Tipmans, but they were also modified, you know, but for the most part they were using parts that were for Tipmans. They weren't like, you know, taking apart a die gun and putting a die gun inside of it. So it probably wasn't as shady as, you know, the Bad Company kids. All right, I'm gonna go eat dinner. I think I'm having tri-tip. I think we're doing tri-tip. Tri-tip? I always get tri-tip and brisket confused. What's the difference between tri-tip and brisket? Mark, Bobby is the only pro that uses a Tipman. Who's Bobby? Bobby Keiko? Bobby Keiko would use a slingshot if they'd let him. Tri-tip has 3 sides. 3 points? That's try, so that makes sense, but... Is it like cut into a square or a triangle? Or it's called recurve. I don't know. Didn't they have a recurve bow and arrow? That's what it like reminds me of. Duke Stevens. That sounds like a dog's name. Not really Stevens. Duke's a cool name though. Dude, I'm Brad. Brad's like modern, like a 1980s version of Chad. You know? Maybe I should just go by Steve. No, that's my dad's name. Tri-tip is my favorite thing to smoke here in Cali. I bet you're not, you know, this is funny. I was talking to someone the other day about that. About like people that are from California never say Cali. I have never said that one time in my life in like a real conversation. Always California, and I've always got to full on say it. I don't really ever cook meat. It's just such a fucking process. I'll let other people cook it. Oh, there we go, Mark. We've been having lamb this year and a rib roast and crab. I know that we're having some sort of meat dish on Christmas Eve, but I don't know. NorCal people don't say Cali. I don't think that people in Southern California say Cali either, though. Do they? I don't think so. It's just like for Sacramento, I say, most of the people here say Sacramento, but if you like ask people how to say it the other way, or like wherever they live, they're gonna say Sacramento. They like don't pronounce the T in the end, but we're like, I'm from Sacramento. Happy holidays from Guam. Oh, I'd rather be in Guam right now. Cali? I still don't think people in SoCal or Southern California say Cali. Maybe there's a couple people. It just sounds dumb. It's like people in San Francisco, they don't ever say San Fran. Just like in Sacramento, I mean, some people say Sac. I'm gonna go to Sac, but not so much. I guess I've probably said it a few times. Anyway, all right, guys. Make sure to like the live stream. There's 75 of you here. There's 60 likes let's at least get that to 75. You know, give it a like. You know, maybe you learned some stuff. Maybe you learned something about, you know, NBA announcers. We talked about that for like 20 minutes. We found out that it's possible that there was an Imagine with an enclosed bolt system. I don't know. That's all I got. Mark, talk your ish, Brad, about the like button. Yeah, I'll just like the goddamn videos. I mean, I gotta be better at, like, you know, I'm really bad at, like, promoting myself. Like, I'm just not good at it. I don't really like it. I feel like it's kind of like greaseball-y, and I don't really do a good job at it. So make sure to like the video and check out the links in the description as well. You can find the Paintball Ruin My Life Discord, the Patreon, so you can take place in the giveaway that's going to happen next month, the 3rd Thursday. Duke says, what did I miss about Kinetic? I was just talking about the video that came out that I put out with Kinetic, or put out for Kinetic. I guess it's with Kinetic as well. I just wanted to tell people you can use that promo code right there. I can't see my mouse. But at Kinetic Paintball, you can get 10% off if you use that promo code Paintball Ruin My Life 10, PBRML 10. And you can save 10%. You know, I get a little kickback when people buy stuff too. Towel asks, have you tried the Kinetic hoodie? I did not. I did see that though. It just looked like a hoodie to me, so I haven't really experienced it. I don't know. 10% off, you can order that hoodie. They have some other stuff over there too. You know, their paintball pants and the KMP, the Kinetic Modular Pack, are probably going to be the two coolest things. But I appreciate you guys very much. Anyone who comes by here, you super chatters, anyone who's liking the live stream, people that participate with comments in the chat, all that stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Brad, I already ordered it. Well, that's okay. You don't have to apologize to me. You're the one who lost out on saving some money. Not a lot, but, you know, a little bit. Okay. You guys want to come back next Thursday? I was going to say Tuesday. Thursday isn't what is going on here? I'm trying to open the goddamn calendar. There we go. Today is the 21st. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. All right, guys. Duke, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Next Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We need a Force 2.0 review. Yeah, they're exactly the same gun though, so probably not. They're literally the exact same gun. They just look a little different. Yeah. Okay, guys. I appreciate you. Take care. You know, have a good holidays, and I'll see you before the next holiday. We'll be back here Thursday before, you know, New Year's.